Hello everyone, so we finally made it. We arrived here in Ilocos after a very long and eventful journey from London. It started when we left on the 13th of April this year, and I don't know if you noticed on my trolley I had a JVC box. I wanted to bring the television here because they're really expensive televisions out here. So I paid an extra $75, which is around about 60 quid, 59, 60 quid, whatever the exchange rate is at the time. So you pay for the privilege of them looking after the box, you put Fragile all over it, and you pick it up at the other end in one piece. That's the story for the end of this video. The eventful part of the journey was, the first part of the journey from London to Dubai was fine. A380, big Airbus, comfortable seats. Ia was sitting by the window, I was sitting next to her. The food was good. We eventually landed in Dubai early in the morning their time. It was a 2-hour, 53-minute layover, so we just had something to drink and eat, and then meandered down to the gate where we got onto the forward flight, the onward flight to Clark, which is just north of Manila, about 2 hours drive I guess, but it was via Cebu, so that would have been an hour's stopover, just to refuel I suppose and let passengers off and get some other forward passengers coming on, and that was that. But it wasn't, because when the flight took off from Dubai, we was about, I'd say, 45 minutes to an hour into the journey, and one of our fellow passengers decided to, I think it was a heart attack, or she was obviously very unwell. About 4 rows behind us on the left by the window, she was not good, and that took all the cabin, well, it seemed to take all the cabin crew, and I mean all of them, running up and down the aisles and asking for doctors on board and what have you, and they spent most of the flight time looking after her, which, okay, I'll get, but don't forget there's a few hundred other people on the plane that need feeding. We didn't seem to get any drinks, any food. It was a nightmare. I couldn't really turn around and say, well, leave her, how about feeding us? But after sort of like waiting for quite a long time, I got the hump and I said, well, where's my food? I'm not being funny, but we need feeding. It doesn't take 10 cabin crew to look after one person, and there was a doctor, or an alleged doctor, looking after her. And then anyway, it was decided, the captain came on, and it was decided after a long delay, the captain never said a word, but then he eventually came on and said, we're going to have to do an emergency landing in Hanoi, Vietnam, to let this passenger off to go and get some treatment. So we all buckled in and we landed in Hanoi, and it seemed to take for an age for the medical staff to board the plane, get on the plane, and we was actually sitting 2 rows back from an aisle. I don't know why they didn't take her out of that bit, who knows, but it seemed to take an age to disembark this fallen passenger. Anyway, eventually they got her off on a stretcher, and the captain came on and said, we're going to make our way up now off to Cebu, and that's what we did. Off we went. So we were obviously like 2 or 3 hours behind schedule now, and it was then that they decided to feed us very quickly. Food seemed to be a little bit cooler than normal. Anyway, we landed in Cebu. I think it was about 2 hours behind schedule, bearing in mind that we were being met at Clark Airport by Ia's family. We'd hired a minibus which cost 10,000 pesos, it's about 150 quid. Of course, all the family turned up in it. When we eventually got from Cebu to Clark, that is, we were so tired that I just couldn't be bothered to get the camera out, and by that time I'd run out of battery anyway. The phone had gone dead. But we got met by the family. There was about 8, I think, come and met us, which is fine. I suppose I guess they're all excited, right? And then it was a long, I think it was about 6.5 hour drive from Clark right up here to Vegan, Ilocos. So I don't think we got here till 4:35 a.m. So when we eventually got to Ia's mum's house, of course we were really tired, so we stayed there the night. We were going to stay there for a week anyway, because the house hadn't been finished. It had been built up to, just I don't know what they called it. They call it a rough finish, I think they call it. So it means there's sort of like the inside needs doing, all the decorating, the tiling and the water and all that sort of stuff. So we stayed at Ia's mum's. We decided to stay there for a week. And then it was getting a little bit overcrowded with us, Ia's mum, dad, brother, his girlfriend. It was just a little bit overcrowded. So we decided to come to the house, irrespective of whether it was finished or not, because we knew we had this place, the Kubo, which is what I'm sitting in now. And we slept, and if you look over my shoulder there, that was the bedroom. So obviously we had that wasn't as full up as it is now. We put a bed in there. It's quite secure and comfortable and dry, and a lot of airflow. So we slept in here for, I guess, about a week, until the house was a little bit more livable. We cleaned it up. There's a little video coming up of Ia and her mum and stuff cleaning it. Yeah, so it was a fairly eventful journey, very tiring, and one that I wasn't expecting, but that's life. Stuff like that happens. But I would like to make a note. I hope the woman that was taken unwell on the flight is okay. It wasn't too serious, but she didn't look that good. But I just hope she's all right, and if anyone's watching that was on that flight that knows her, we just hope she's okay. So after this, there's a little bit of a clip of Ia doing some cleaning, and we're going to do some more vlogs. I wasn't actually going to do any vlogs. I wasn't really that interested, but I've been watching YouTube and I've been looking at some of them, and they're a little bit pretentious, aren't they? All that sort of stuff. I'm not into that. I just want to sort of like show you our lives here in the Philippines. It's quite a big change for me. Different climate, very hot, as you can imagine, about 30 to 32, 33 degrees every day. Sun is really, really hot. You've got to be careful when you're going out in the sun here. It's 10-15 minutes and you'll burn to a crisp. So you've got to be really careful. Keep covered up and stay out of the sun as much as you can. A, because you're going to get burnt, and B, because it's so damn hot. And the culture change, it's going to take a long time for me to get used to the difference in the culture. Things are a little bit more relaxed here, let's just say that. Okay, so anyway, it's good to be here, and that was just a little insight of our journey. Didn't want to do too much, eating and stuff like that. Why do people do that when they're vlogging? They say, oh look, and this is what we're having for dinner, and they start eating, and everyone's looking at it going, I'm hungry. What about people that haven't got a lot of money and they can't afford that sort of stuff, or whatever? But that's me just gashing on a little bit. So anyway, welcome. We'll probably do some more vlogs, and I'll introduce you to the house, We've actually been here for 3 months now. So this is a very delayed video. As I said, I didn't really want to do any vlogs, but I've sort of decided, not out of boredom, but just out of just to give you a lot of insight as to the change in my life and what sort of life we've got here. So if you want to follow us, you can click the bell button wherever that is. You can subscribe if you want to. If you don't, fine, just watch it and hit the thumbs up button, whatever they call it, and any comments, just put them down below and I'll answer as many as I can. Okay, so I'll see you in a little while, or should I say we'll see you on the next one. See you next time, because this one's going on a little bit too long now. So have a nice day, and see you later.